Three, two, one. Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lozo, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off the January 2025. Can't believe it's already 2025 of the not Podcast Lead Challenge, but now it's been rebranded as Podcast Launch Challenge because now I'm not going to show you it's not about just getting leads, but most importantly, how to build that foundation, that solid foundation that is your podcast, which will allow you to get leads on demand and clients organically through your very own podcast without spamming, even if you have no audience to start with. So let's get going. Let me start sharing my screen. Well, let me first find the right screen. I have so many browsers open here. Don't want to share anything I don't want to share. Day one. Okay, right here. Perfect. Do you guys see my screen? Let me make it full screen here. Do you guys still see it? All right, cool. So again, the premise of this challenge over the next 5 days, it's all about launching your podcast without being a techie or spending a lot of time and money doing so that you can get leads on demand and clients organically to your very own podcast and YouTube channel, even if you have no audience to start with, without spamming and no ad spend. How does that sound, guys?
Perfect.
All right, cool. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the exact same approach and method that allowed me to get close to 100 high-ticket clients in 18 months with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. That sounds incredible, but I will explain to you. By the end of the week, you'll know exactly why that is possible, and not only why that's possible, but most importantly, how you guys can replicate that into your own business, because that's what truly matters. It's one thing for me to do it, but what really matters is how you can do the same. That's what really matters. So we're going to do that. So this is the premise. This is what you get, the outcome. This is the quantifiable, measurable end result of this 5-day challenge. At the end of this challenge, you will have an actionable blueprint to launch your profitable podcast and or YouTube channel. Also, when I say podcast, I mean both podcast, audio, and YouTube channels. But for simplicity's sake, I say podcast. And also so that you can get, again, leads on demand and clients organically without spamming, even if you have no audience to start with. So let me first go to the overview of the 5 days. Michelle just joined us. Let me just greet her. Oh, yeah. Is it Michelle or Michele? Let me see. Okay. So day one is going to be today. After a short meet and greet, my story, how podcasting transformed both my life and my business. And then also we're going to start talking about what do you want to achieve through your own podcast. Day two, tomorrow, we're going to be diving into really setting the foundation of your podcast. But first, we need to really understand why podcasting is so powerful for both you personally and your business. And that's what we're going to unpack tomorrow. Day three, we're going to start really to get our hands dirty, so to speak, by really building the foundation of your podcast, not just your podcast, but your profitable podcast. That's a keyword, profitable. And that is, we're going to start brainstorming about what your podcast is going to be about. What is and the core central point of everything I do, and that is identifying your zone of genius. What is your true zone of genius? What is your true gift? Because we're going to be building your messaging, your offer, your business, everything you do around your zone of genius. All you have to do is share your story by speaking from the heart, because that's the best way to really communicate and convey your message, share your gifts with others by simply sharing your story. That's how you build trust, found rapport, and all that. And then once you've done that, we're going to be looking at what's your ideal listener, client avatar. As you will see, everything is systematic. Everything builds from the previous step, previous notion. There's no guesswork required or in here. Everything is very step by step. So again, day three is going to be a very powerful day because that's what's going to be the foundation, what's going to make or break your podcast. As you will see, it's going to be the clarity, the zone of genius, your gifts, because that's what we're going to be building the podcast. Not just the podcast. The podcast is going to be the podcast is going to be the platform of excellence for you to share your story, display your expertise, and connect heart to heart with your audience so you can build trust and rapport. And once you've done that, then it opens the doors to opportunities, to blessings, as well as wallets and everything else in between. So it's all based on that, your zone of genius. Day four, we're going to take a look at actually the nitty gritty of your podcast. We're going to be creating your podcast foundation and assets. We're going to be looking at the proper format for your podcast and naming your podcast the right way. As you will see, there's a tremendous variety of ways to name a podcast, and that's going to be a big decision, and we're going to look into that. As well as we're going to be creating live together your YouTube channel. It's not complicated, but we will do it because YouTube can be incredibly powerful when done the right way. And also we're going to be getting creative. We're going to be creating your podcast cover art, thumbnails, social media assets, and all that good stuff. So we're going to get all of that on day 4, which is Thursday. But also on day 4, we'll have a bonus guest expert talk by my own publisher, Mary Gooden. She's going to talk to you about the power of books. And once you combine having your own book with your own podcast, that's an unstoppable combo. I call it the VIP, Visibility, Impact, Profit combo. And that's what we're going to be talking on Thursday. And then on day 5, so that's also part of day 4. We're going to also be looking at the tech. I'm going to be sharing with you all the information that you need, the essentials about the tech side, what type of microphone, accessories, and software you need to get starting. We're going to be doing together some recording and editing of your shows as if you were sitting just beside me. And at the end, we'll have the bonus expert talk with my publisher, good friend, and also alumni of my academy, Mary Gooden. Day 5, we're going to put it all together. We're going to be looking at monetizing your podcast the right way. And I say monetizing, I don't mean getting pennies from YouTube or Google. No, I'm talking about getting high-ticket clients. Clients are going to pay you at the bare minimum $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, pounds or euros per client through your podcast. Because again, that we're going to be leveraging the podcast to simply have heart-to-heart conversations. Because that's business at the highest level, especially high-ticket selling is about one thing and one thing only, and that is trust. We're going to be looking into that. So day 5, we're going to be looking at how to get leads on demand and clients organically to your own podcast and YouTube channel, and then looking at how we can turn your podcast into an unstoppable machine, as well as an incredible, powerful starting point for much bigger opportunities. For example, for me, it opened the world for me. It got me into publishing, becoming not only a 4-time #1 international best-selling author, but also my own publisher. Public speaking got me into doing my first TED Talk in August of last year. Now I've been invited to be a keynote speaker at a major conference in March here in Asia for digital nomads and location-dependent entrepreneurs. So again, beyond blessed. And so a podcast can be an incredible launching pad for much bigger. And for example, for someone like you, James, who's all about doing conferences, public speaking, and all that, the podcast is the best way to do so. And I will share all of that with you guys on Friday. So are you guys excited so far about the menu for this week? Let me hear you guys. Hell yes. Come on. Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yes.
right. Good. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Where are you located?
I'm located in London. I was invited by Gifty.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Awesome. We'll do an introduction in a few moments. Thank you for being here. All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Very welcome. So today's agenda, again, first and foremost, I've done the housekeeping and all that. We're going to do a quick meet and greet, getting to know each other, 30 seconds each. Then I'm going to be sharing my story and how podcasting completely transformed, changed, and even in some ways, literally saved my life. And then we're going to be looking at the 3 foundational questions, not just about podcasts, but also about business in general, that also tie very nicely into podcasting. And then going to look into some misconceptions and myths about starting a podcast. So that's the menu for today. So a little bit about me. Who doesn't know me before I put the screen? Who doesn't know me? Raise your hand if you don't know me. Gifty, you know me? All right, okay. So I'm a Canadian expat currently based in Asia and Vietnam. I've been blessed to have lived in 14 countries on 4 continents and counting. Let's see. Berta, you raised your hand. Go ahead, my friend.
Oh, I'm raising my hand to say I don't know you.
Oh, okay,
So
sorry. Okay.
I joined
No
in
worries.
late. So
No
it's
worries.
all right.
Thank you for being here. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay. So, as I said, I've been a globetrotter. Been blessed to be born in a family of travelers. My father was a geologist, archaeologist. I lived in many countries. I speak 6 languages and counting. But for me, the three C's that really define my life, my mission in this life, and that is being a connector, a collector, and a cheerleader. That's what I am. I love connecting people. I love bringing people together. I'm the biggest cheerleader you will find when it comes to pushing you and pushing anyone to go after their dreams. And I'm a collector. When someone asks, I'm a very outgoing guy. I go to events when they ask me, what do you do? My answer is, I'm a collector. What do you collect? I collect success stories, testimonies. Oh, what do you mean? And that's the conversation on what I actually do. So also, I'm the host and founder of the Leaders Without podcast. Currently over 360, now fast approaching 370 podcast episodes in the last 3 years. Also, 4-time #1 international best-selling author, TEDx speaker, mentor, and so on and so forth. Here's I will share the slides with you after this call. You can listen to my TED Talk that I did last August. Would love to get your feedback on it tomorrow. So a little bit about me, how podcasting completely changed my life, the before podcasting and after podcasting. For me, I used to be incredibly painfully shy. I was the shyest person in the world that you could meet. I had a very low self-esteem, low self-confidence. Before the pandemic, I was living in Asia, in Hong Kong, trying to build a business. Didn't work out. I literally ran out of money. I was in a very bad position. I was almost homeless. If it wasn't for a friend of mine that allowed me to stay at this place for over a year in Hong Kong for free, I would have been on the streets. My credit got canceled, credit destroyed. I had to ask my sister to book me a ticket to come back to Canada at the start of the pandemic. Landing in Canada at the start of the pandemic with only $200 to my name. I never gave up. I knew I could get out, but I had no idea how. I was completely directionless. I had no idea what to do, where to go. At some point, I was even considering to leave this world, because no matter what I was trying, nothing was working, at least for me. So it was a very dark place for me. And thankfully, what literally saved my life was the podcast. And I will invite you to watch my TED Talk, because that is exactly what changed my life, what saved my life, and how podcasting played an instrumental role into that. And now, since podcasting, beyond the tremendous financial blessing that allowed me to get back on my feet and being in the best shape I've ever been, having all the success, for me, the greatest gift podcasting blessed me with was that of killing my shyness. I'm no longer the shy person, the reserved person, the guy with a low self-esteem. Now I'm the complete opposite. When I start talking, you can't shut me up. People that knew me from before, when they see me talking on video, online, all the time, even doing talks in person in front of large crowds, they left with amazement and say, "What happened to you? Did you make a pact with the devil?" I say, "No, never did, never will. I just find my purpose, my voice, my mission. Once you do, then you become the person you're meant to be." So, and in the process, regaining my self-confidence, self-esteem, of course, getting back on my feet financially, embracing my gifts, and also gaining and building incredible, beautiful friendships from around the world. Some of you guys in here, Gifty, James, and other people, become amazing friends of the last few months that I've got to know you, that I've had the honor and pleasure of having on my podcast. And this is what, for me, it's one of the greatest gifts of doing business. First, the transformation I help achieve in the lives of the people I work with. And second of all, the beautiful friendships I build with these people. The money is icing on the cake. The money is not the cake. Once I made this switch from chasing money to actually serving, helping the person I'm working with, that's when my life and my business changed. So again, now I've been blessed to live life on my terms, and it's been an absolutely beautiful thing. And all of that because of podcasting. So that's about me. If you want to know more about me, I recommend you watch my TED Talks, about 15 minutes. Tells you more about my journey. But anyways, let's get on. Enough about me. Before we even start, I would love to give each of you guys, say, 30 seconds to a minute, and tell us a little bit about you, where you're logging from, what's your business, what do you want to achieve to this challenge. These 3 questions. So let's go. I will go from left to right on my screen. First, Berta, go ahead, my friend. If you can turn on your cam, that would be amazing.
I know. Thank you so much. I'm
Welcome.
not sure if you can bear with the having my camera on
No worries.
because
Yeah.
I'm on duty.
Oh, okay, no problem. So if you have to turn your camera off, that's fine. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your business? How did you find about this challenge, and what do you want to get out of it? I don't know if it's my connection or your connection.
Okay.
I'm
Can
not hearing a thing.
exactly
Mm,
neither.
should I?
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Bertha, we're not hearing
Trying to
anything.
find somewhere.
Now it's better.
It's a
Now it's
busy
better.
period at the moment.
No
No,
worries.
I'm a
Let's get back
full-time
to you.
nurse. I need to find my. Okay, let me quickly finish it from here before I move again. So, like
Okay.
I'm saying, for now, I'm a full-time nurse, nurse educator. I'm trying to have my personal business of educating internationally educated nurses and healthcare professionals. So I joined in. I've started being a guest on podcast, with Sister Gifty, who invited me to join the challenge. I just want to gain more confidence with, speaking. I've been doing public speaking for a while, but, in the church, in the crowd, but
Mm,
professionally on podcasts and like that, recorded ones. I just want to polish up my speaking skills so that if I have to record an advert or something like that. But hearing you today, I'm actually thinking it's actually being the host of a podcast be another thing that will help me. So I'm here for the
well,
challenge to see what is in here for me.
well,
Thank you
glad,
very much.
very welcome. Glad to have you with us. Can't wait to get to know you more and help you achieve that goal. You're in the right place, my friend. All right, cool. Next, James, your turn, brother.
Well, I've known Payman for 6, 8 months, something like that, having been very fortunate enough to be interviewed by him on 2 occasions. We were connected by a mutual friend who is supporting me in lifting my business up and out, which is so I'm a coach of 30 odd years worth of training. My passion at the moment is helping to empower women to become the leaders that they've always been and that the world needs, and to bridge the gap between, to bridge the gender divide, basically, in the imbalance between how men and women are in this world. So that's what I'm up to. The podcast is something I've avoided successfully for long enough until Payman managed to grab hold of me and continually have a go at me until such time as I've signed up. It's one of my most natural mediums, which is why I'm not quite sure why I'm so scared of it. But I suspect technology has something to do with it, as has being seen by the rest of the world as being somebody out there. So by the end of this week, I hope to have no excuse not to be able to do one.
Absolutely. Absolutely in the right place. It's been a pleasure and honor getting to know you and having you share your beautiful, inspiring, empowering, and at many times goosebump inducing story. What a story. I invite you guys to listen to his story. I'll link it in the Facebook group. So thank you, James. Next, Georgina.
Hi guys, my name is Georgina, but please call me George. I'm originally from London, but I now live in West Sussex. I too, like Bertha, work for the NHS, but I'm new to the NHS. I've spent about 40 years, that's 40 years,
Wow.
working in a corporate environment. And I I'm presently the chair of a women's network. I have just under 300 members, and my role is to inspire, motivate. It's what I do. I have a website that I designed myself, so I may share it with you if you don't laugh.
Please.
But it's all, I'm just building up my skills because I too have never done a podcast. I've done blogs, things like that. And I do think that I'm ready. And like James, I steer towards it. So I don't know why I've been nervous, but I think it's because it is a personal thing, and I want to make sure that I fully understand the tool before I take it up. So
Absolutely. You're
really
the
glad
right
to be here. Thank you.
pleasure having you here. It's you're in the right place. And I can't believe, I mean, you must have started even working even before you were born.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Michelle.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi. I don't know what to say really. So I'm currently not working at the moment. I'm on a little kind of career break at the moment. At a bit of a crossroads. So my previous background is IT project management. I did that for maybe 14 years or so. Decided not to pursue that career, not knowing which direction to go in at the moment right now. I've never thought about a podcast, but I do listen to them. I do listen to them sometimes when I'm driving or while I'm doing some chores or something like that. So I'm aware of them. So it'll be interesting about this week to see where I go from here. So as I previously said, I was invited by Gifty, um, and yeah, so I'm keen just to find out a bit more.
Wow, it's a pleasure having you. Thank you for being here in the right place. And yeah,
Thank you for having me.
thank you for being here. Pleasure on mine. Next, the one and only Gifty, the most beautiful name and the most
Hello.
amazing, warmest smile. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, it's nice to be back. I've known Payman since August, not too long, but it feels like a long time. And also, I've been part of a group called Public Speaking Academy, where I met, a couple of people trying to amplify and improve on my confidence to get my voice out. I'm quite keen. I'm a health practitioner, like working with NHS. I can retire anytime, um, but I'm still needed. My passion is about supporting staff to develop intentional resilience so that they can cope with the pressure. And I'm sure many of you are aware of what and the processes that NHS is going through. Great deal of passion, low self-esteem, and the staff are struggling. But again, I'm in it. So when I was introduced to Payman's podcasting training, I thought, well, this could help me. I've done so many things, other coaching session, and also my service is not set off yet because I'm working full time. So I decided to divert everything to building my confidence with podcasting and encouraging people to come on my podcasting to share how they've navigated life challenges with clarity, purposes to make a difference, staying true to their mission, their calling, or their where God has called them. So that is where I am. And I have been pushed by Payman a number of times. I was stuck at some point. So I've started and got key people to support that, including Payman. I've had you on my podcast. So and I have keen interest in writing a book, putting things in a
Wow.
book in terms of my experience as a health practitioner for almost 36 years so, and how I have
Beautiful.
navigated certain challenges and still standing. So I think that is why. And I can see Bertha is doing the same. Michelle is also got key skills. And I thought She'll be good at this. And if we could have a joint venture, that is what I use to get her here. I said we could have a joint venture. So she's here to see what it is if motivate her. That will be appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gifty, for being back. You're a dear friend. I got to know you were part of the challenge back in July, and you also attended the Academy, and you're alumni of the Academy from last August. It's always a pleasure having you with us. Always here to assist you, to help you, to support you every step of the way. So thank you for being back, and super proud of having been on your podcast, of being one of the first guests. That was amazing. And one thing I will tell all of you guys, don't be shy. Reach out to each other. You never know. Get on a conversation, because one of the greatest benefit of any event, with online, offline, is in people you meet. You never know. Just like Gifty you mentioned with Michelle and Berta, you guys can, who knows, just co-create magic together. For example, get in touch with James. Has an incredible story, an incredible set of gifts. Get in touch with each other, guys. And also would love to, for those of you that I don't know, such as, I don't know yet, Michelle, George, Berta, would love to get on calls with you guys to get to know you and see how I can further support you and help you win. So let's get all in calls with each other, because that's where the true beauty, true gift of any event is. So just want to say that. As everyone has had a chance to share their story. Berta, are you able to do so now? Are you in a place that you can, with good internet?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, much better.
Yeah, I said a bit, but I think I didn't. Yeah, I'm also a registered nurse, a nurse educator. As mentioned earlier, I'm not sure if you heard me, but I've been on a public speakers academy, and I'm a coach, mentor. I've written my first book, and I'm about to publish the second one. And I think it's all kind of professional stuff that I want to develop it, use that one for a personal business. And, to gain visibility and credibility to be able to attract clients. I think public speaking is really something that is skill that needs to be gained. I have not been shy, but I think my speaking skills need polishing. Yeah, always. There's something to learn. So, like I said, as I joined today and listening to you, I'm thinking maybe podcasts. I've been a guest on podcasts about 3 or 4 times, and I don't know what's in there to be a host for it.
Yes.
So I'm just coming in to learn and see how much I can navigate around and make things much better than I anticipated. Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you for being here. Yes.
I'm actually going to mute because there's quite a lot of noise around me where I am.
Sure, no worries.
At work.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. No worries. So yes, it's great to go on other people's podcasts. You get further credibility, elevates your status, but it gives you a short boost. But nothing beats having your own podcast, your own platform, because hey, once you have a podcast, you will have an incredibly valuable asset, regardless of how popular, how many people listen to it or not, because everybody wants to go on a podcast to talk about themselves, their business. So for example, for me, my podcast is still pretty small, but I over the last 4 years and almost 400 guests, I only had 2 or 3 people ask me, so how many subscribers or downloads do you get? And when I tell them, for me, it's not about the numbers, but about the connection, they understand. So again, it's an incredibly powerful platform to have your own, because basically you not only you call the shots, but hey, it's an incredibly powerful machine to educate your audience, to build your relationship with them, trust, to display your expertise, but also to cement you further as a leader, as an expert and authority in your niche. So that's incredibly powerful. All right, let me catch up with the messages. Yes, please. And okay, yeah. So you're in for a treat here, James, because you want to work with women, and now you're surrounded with women, powerful women, you know? Amen, hallelujah, you know? So awesome. And if you haven't connected with me so far, if you're not connected on Facebook, let's do so. Oh, and would you guys prefer for us to communicate on Facebook or create a WhatsApp group? Which one is
WhatsApp for me.
WhatsApp?
I
Okay.
prefer WhatsApp.
Okay. So share your WhatsApp, please, in here number, and I will create a group today, and this way we can have ongoing conversation and all that. Okay, perfect. Now, anyone else that I may have missed? Let me look at the chat. No, everybody. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay. So here are the 5 foundational questions that I ask whenever I work with any new student or anyone that is interested about podcasting. Number 1, do you have your own podcast? If no, why not? Let's go to each of them together. Raise your hand if you currently have your podcast. I know Gifty, you have one. Anyone else?
Say that again, Payman.
Which one of you guys currently has your own podcast? So only
I
Gifty?
don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Okay. Can you share with us quickly in one sentence why not? Why you don't have your podcast yet? Start with
I would.
James.
Oh.
Sorry, Michelle, you were speaking?
It's okay. I'll wait for James.
Oh, go ahead.
That's
Tell
very
us.
simple. Complete and total ineptness, fear of technology, and general insecurity about being on the global stage.
Okay.
Other than that, I have no real excuses.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. George.
My excuse is it's a little bit about my verbal diarrhea, not knowing exactly what to talk about and what to focus it on. You know, I want to talk about so many different things. I want to focus on so many different things. So it stops me because I
Okay.
want to know what value I will bring with what subject.
You know, George, that's an incredibly powerful comment because two things I want to add. Number 1, and that's the first thing I tell everyone I come across with, is never speak from a script. Don't even speak from here. Speak from here. When you speak from the heart, by just sharing your story, you don't have to think about the words. They come naturally. And this is the best way to really connect with people, because at the end of the day, it's all about people are really starving for one thing: authenticity. How do you stay and become authentic? By simply speaking from the heart. So when you
Yeah.
speak from the heart, that's going to take care of that problem. What was the second aspect again? I forgot.
Well, it's the only way I do speak. I can't speak from a script, but I
Okay.
just think to myself, will I hold an audience
Okay.
not speaking from a script?
Oh, I remember. And the second part was clarity, not knowing what to speak about. Well, guess what? We have an entire day just on that alone, which is identifying your zone of genius, which
Yeah.
is a central point of everything I do. Let me just quickly stop the sharing so I can let someone else come here. 1 second. Take the link. Where is it?
Payman, I just have to apologize. I will have to leave about 1.
Sure.
I do apologize about that. But
No worries.
I'm
It's
looking
gonna be
forward to
recorded.
tomorrow.
So it's gonna be recorded. So make sure you catch the recording.
No worries.
Where is she? What's her name? Christine. You're in it for a treat, James. Here's another wonderful lady coming in just for you.
Well, I'm honored.
No, this lady is very, very influential in the UK. Christine Lester. Where is she? There you go. Okay, let me resume my sharing. Where's my screen? No, not this one. 1 sec. Podcast launch. Yeah, this one. No, close this.
Gifty, I love the title of your podcast.
Mm.
Yes.
I love the beacon. The beacon,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
speaks.
Yeah,
It speaks on so
It is-
many different levels. I
it
love
really
it.
does. It really does. And then you see Gifty with her big smile, and she's that intentional beacon. Amazing.
Yes.
Yes, it is wonderful.
Yes, indeed. She's got the most beautiful name and the most warmest, beautiful smile. Seriously. And I told her the first time I met her, when God blesses me with having a daughter, Gifty will be high on the list to naming her. For you, Gifty, because that's beautiful. Seriously. Anyways, Christine, welcome to the show, my friend. Are you here? Can you see us?
I can see you and I can hear you, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, thank you. Give us a 30-second intro about who we are, what you do, and what are you looking to get out of this?
What do I do? I started off just doing learning and development, vocational education, competencies, getting people qualified. That's what I'm about. See everybody get qualified, get good jobs. So I've done that for 40 or more years and written a lot of the competencies that you all work to now, especially if you're in hospitality and catering or travel. Been all the way around Europe, all the 27 countries, and seeing what they're doing, their best practice. I'm mainly now, I'm a bit immobile. I've got all sorts of physical injuries that I can't get about as quickly as I could, and I can't run away as quickly as I could. So I'm stuck. But I do a lot of things international, try and put people together, try and develop their projects and tell them where they could get some funding. That's usually the main thing, because nobody can do anything for nothing. Well, they expect us to, but yeah, we can spend hundreds of hours of scoping something, but it doesn't mean to say it's going to get accepted. So yes, that's what I do. Sometimes I hold their hand all the way through the whole of their project and coming out the other side. I've just had a lovely chat with a gentleman from Uganda.
Wow.
I think I spoke to about 4 years ago, and he wants some more help. So that's in between talking to you first thing this morning as well.
And one thing that you're being a bit modest is that you've worked with some of the biggest organizations in Europe and the world, helping them with securing funding. So if you're looking for any funding at the highest level, she's your person.
Yeah.
And by funding, I
thank you.
mean multi-million, 9-10 figure type of funding, not just 10,000 pounds or dollars. So don't be modest, embrace it and share it.
Thank you.
Very welcome, very welcome. Thank you for being here, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you for what you do. I think quite often it isn't appreciated what you do,
Thank
just
you.
bringing these people together and helping them to go forward. I think it's amazing.
Thank
And you've
you.
been a good friend to me, I know. Done
Absolutely.
two really good podcasts with you, along with all the, how many is it now? Coming up to 500, isn't it?
No, 370, so 400.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Yes, nearly 400 then.
yeah,
Yeah. And it will be 500 by the time you're finished. I bet
absolutely.
it'll be 500 by the end of the year. How about that?
Oh, yeah, that's
I'll make a
that's a
bet.
wonderful milestone. And guess what? Who's gonna be my 500 guest?
Oh, yes, that would be worth having, won't it?
I'm talking
Yeah.
to her right now.
Oh, right, me.
Yes, you.
Oh, yes.
I
Oh,
would be an
right.
honor.
I've got to live another 11 months then.
Oh, you're not going anywhere. You're still pretty young. You're not going anywhere, my friend.
Oh, dear, I
You're
am.
getting warmed
I
up.
am getting on.
No, that's okay. Thank you for being here. All right, awesome. So, where were we? We were asking people why they don't have the podcast. So we had James, Sherry is George, Michelle. Can you share with us in one sentence why you haven't started your podcast yet?
Oh, I think it's the same as George and James, really. I wouldn't know where to start and I wouldn't know what to talk about.
Okay,
So yeah, that's in that sentence, yeah, I wouldn't know where to start.
awesome. Thank you for sharing it. What else? Let me check. Berta.
Is it my turn? Okay. Thank you so much. The reason why I haven't had started podcast is that I didn't have much knowledge about podcasts. I think I have a lot that I share in different means, different ways, but I've got my hands full. I think podcast would be a very nice modern way. I do share a lot of health talk. I give global health education, and talk on marriage, talk on professional academics and a lot of things. However, I haven't tried it on podcast because occupied myself with so many things, and I hardly have the time to breathe.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Christine, one sentence why you haven't started your podcast yet, especially someone as influential as you.
I think it's fear. Just a little bit of fear. To me, it would be something that I haven't done, so therefore I'm afraid of it. I don't think I'd be as good as you. I think I would take over the talking, wouldn't I, and not be the hosting.
No, you're amazing. You're amazing. And one thing I tell everyone, do not compare yourself to anyone. The only competition is the version of you yesterday. The only goal is to be 1% better than yesterday. There is a powerful quote by a business leader they follow, and that says, do not compare your step 3 with someone's step 15 or step 25. Because again, they may have been in the game far longer than you. For example, I know people that have been podcasting for 10 years, and that episode 700-800 compared to them, I'm a pretty small fish. So again, it's not about comparing you to anyone else. You're exactly where you're meant to be. All right, and your only competition is the Christine of yesterday. I mean, that's for you and for all of us. Just the person you were yesterday. Just be 1% better than yesterday. As long as you keep that, you're golden. That's what I just want to say. All right, a couple of questions I want one or two of you to share with us. Where are you in your business now? Where do you want to go, and what's holding you back? One or two people. Share with us again. Where are you in your business now? What do you want to achieve? Where you want to go with your business, and what's holding you back from achieving that? Who wants to share with us? Maybe in
I'll
35
start.
Go ahead.
I'll start because it's been a while now. I have for over a year, I've been trying to establish something to support professionals in terms of the areas that I have encountered myself. But of course, being a full-time, I think that is also, I think if I wasn't working, it would have pushed me, it could have been a catalyst for me to get into doing it, like the podcast. When I set off, it took me a while. I was concerned about the technical knowledge, but I'm just to encourage everyone. If I could do it, everyone can, even though, Michelle has
Yes.
helped me at some point. And payment is always at the other end if I needed just basic things. And I have children who are very good, but sometimes they don't understand what I'm trying to achieve. And so sometimes can be an outsider is best to connect with and show me. And if I've been able to do the Canva, been able to do my thumbnail, I was just over the moon when I was able to do. And for the podcast in itself, as Payman said, the only competition is myself, and also speaking from the heart. And the moment you start, things come up. I've done 2 with Bertha. Bertha has got additional wealth of expertise. But of course, I thought you'll be good at this. You've been a host, but you've been a guest many times, but you can be a host because you've written your book. So I'm just relating to people who can add value to my skills and confidence. And I think anybody. So in terms of my private service, I'm doing it. It's not monetized yet. I have been supporting staff. Part of my role is to support staff in terms of managing complex cases regarding children's safeguarding. So it's the same core principle. So, and my service is how one can transit from your belief system, emotional, how one acts emotionally, your attitude in the face of adversity, and how we communicate and articulate our needs with clarity. And so I could go on. That is where the word become comes in. So I use that as a framework, and so that people can see where they were and then where they can arrive. So I think I'm working on it while doing the podcast and building my confidence.
You're in the right place. Thank you, Gifty, for sharing this, and I'm super proud of all the improvements you've made. The what do you call it? The background you created, that you created yourself, your thumbnails, everything. So again, you can do it. I'm far from being a techie myself, but I learned what I needed to learn. Always remember, YouTube is the biggest university in the world and it's free. I learned everything I needed to learn through YouTube. So there's nothing that stops us from learning what we need and want to learn. So yeah, awesome. So here's some action step homework. Not really homework for anyone, but for yourselves. Today, take 5 minutes and look at these questions, especially question 2, 3, the 4 question. Why do you want to launch your podcast? Where are you now in your business? Where do you want to go achieve in your business? What's holding you back from achieving that goal? I really want you to really think about this and put it in paper. Maybe write a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences about that. Because again, the name of the game is clarity. The more clarity you have that you can put on paper, the more it's going to help you with with the rest of your podcast, your business, your offer. It's all about part of identifying your true zone of genius. So I recommend you guys take 5-10 minutes today and answer, and not only think through about these questions, but also write them down. And even, hey, we're friends here. Share your answers inside the WhatsApp group I'm going to create. It's not going to be for anyone to judge, but just to inspire, to learn more about each other. Okay, and so we can see how we can support and help each other win. So please do so. That's my my ask for you guys for today. This is the first action step. I will share with you the slides later today. So that's the first thing. So now let's move on. Okay, here are some most common reason to not start a podcast, and these are the 3 most common ones I've heard from people over the last, since I started my podcast and since I started my academy. Number 1, I don't know where or how to start. I'm not a techie, and I do not know how to get the right people on my podcast and how to grow it and how to monetize it. By far, these are the 3 most common reasons that have been putting people from holding people back from starting a podcast. Here's some more personal, I would say, blockages, mental blocks, false beliefs, false narratives that are stopping people, including myself, from not only starting a podcast, but from going after the dreams. And that is, who am I? Who's going to listen to me? I'm a nobody. My story doesn't matter. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm not a celebrity. All of this is the proverbial imposter syndrome that we all suffer, even people at the highest level. Even Tony Robbins, before stepping to a stage, he feels that. Even Michael Jordan or whatever sports athlete that you follow, before doing whatever they're doing, they all have that. Can I do it? Even me, after almost 400 episodes, whenever I get on a call, I have that tingling, even when it comes to writing a book or whatever. And I've done that many times. So again, that's natural, but don't let that stop you, because again, it's not about you or me, but it's about sharing your gifts. One thing that I learned in life, yes, life is a school. We come here to learn, grow, become better and wiser, but that's only 5% of what we are here for. The 95% is taking those gifts and sharing them. And what do I mean by gifts? We all get our fair share of pain, trauma, tragedy, abuse, betrayal, heartbreak, and so on and so forth. Yes, it's very painful when you go to them, but then they become your story. Then your story becomes your gifts. Then your gifts become your duty and responsibility to share them. And as I said earlier, at least from my humble understanding, since I've gone through my own spiritual awakening, one of the main reasons we are here on this planet, after we've overcome all these challenges and learned the lessons, become wiser and better, to share those gifts with others, so we can all collectively rise and learn from each other's adventures and lessons and wisdom. So this is what I mean by your gifts. We all have gifts, and we're gonna dive deeper into that on Wednesday to really identify what is your true zone of genius. But what really I want to say is that your story matters, your voice matters, and you definitely matter. One of my favorite saying is, your crap is your gold, or in a more PC way, your mess is your message. Whatever painful challenges, heartbreaks you've gone through, the more painful, the more heartbreaking, and guess what? The more impactful, the more inspirational it can be for someone else. So again, we all have incredible gifts. Now we're all at the stage that we need to first embrace those gifts loud and proud, and then share them even louder and prouder to whatever means is more natural for you. For me, it's through speaking and my books. For someone else, might be to painting, music, sports, acting, whatever. Find your outlet and share your gifts. Does it make sense? Awesome. Cool. And the good news is when it comes to launching a podcast, it's never been easier to launch a podcast. Actually, you can launch a podcast in 3 easy steps. And I'm going to share those 3 easy steps with you guys over the course of this week. One is foundation, which we started today. We're going to do the more tomorrow, dive deeper tomorrow and on Wednesday. Then the tech on Thursday and the launch on Friday. And we're going to go to all of this together the rest of the week. So before we, this is the end of today's call. And before we finish, here's some more action steps, for you guys that I would love for you guys to really take a few minutes to really think this through, to really brainstorm first and foremost with yourself, and then share those. Feel free to share them in both in the Facebook group that you're all in, as well as in the WhatsApp group I'm going to be sharing. Just one sentence. What is the top 3 goals objective for your podcast? Why do you want to launch a podcast? What do you want to achieve through your podcast? And why now? So these are the quick, very easy, should take you less than 5 minutes to jot those down and share the comments both in the Facebook group as well as inside our WhatsApp group I'm going to create later today. So that's it for today. Sneak peek into tomorrow's menu. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the benefits of podcasting, why podcasting is so incredibly powerful for business entrepreneurs. Then we're going to dive deeper into why it's so powerful for both you personally as a man, as a woman, and then for your business. So that's the content for tomorrow. Sneak peek. And as I said earlier, everything builds from the previous day's content. It's very important that you watch it. If you can watch it live, for those that are watching the replay, please watch it and please make sure that you're watching the right sequence. Any questions, guys, about anything I covered today? As my good friend, the pastor, would say, speak now, hold your peace forever.
Perman, are you going to put the recorded thing in the WhatsApp group?
And the Facebook group as well as in the WhatsApp group. Let me collect all these WhatsApp numbers.
Okay.
I believe.
Also,
Go ahead.
is it the same Zoom link?
Yes, it's going to be the same Zoom link for every day of the week. If you don't have it, I will share it as well each day inside the Facebook group as well as WhatsApp group. So do you guys prefer more that we interact on Facebook or on WhatsApp?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to do it on the WhatsApp group. And any questions about anything I may have covered today?
None. Just thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to this. I do have to go, so everybody, thank you, and looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And thank you, James and Gifty, for those contact details.
Make sure, guys, you save the chat. Save the chat. I'm gonna save it as well because I want to keep those numbers.
I have done.
And then we'll take it from there. Me too, I have to jump off. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for me to have dinner. I'm really famished right now. I need to
take care, guys.
Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.
Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you save the chat. Take care.
Okay.
Save the chat and the numbers. Okay. Save chat. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, let me create that. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, guys. See you. Take care. Take care, Berta.
Thank you. Hello, God.